Good morning and welcome back to the channel from a very cold and frosty Evesham. First frost of the year, I think. Winter is on its way. Oh my goodness me. So last night we were treated to a big show of the Northern Lights this far south in the country. What an incredible show, and now we've got this beautiful morning. Oh, you just love nature. Anyway, so I am on my way to Watsonian Squire this morning for my second service. I'm literally on 2,997 miles on Doug, so he is perfectly due for the second service. So I always like a visit to Watsonian Squire and have a look at their amazing sidecars that they build. Always made to feel very welcome when I go there. In the meantime, I am just going to enjoy this beautiful morning and a little ride through the countryside. Oh my goodness me, the river is steaming. Wow. I don't know if we're going to be able to pick that up as we ride past. Look at the frost. So I think since the last upload, the last you saw of Doug was him lay on the floor with some bent bars. Since then I got the nice delivery from Hitchcock's of a brand new set of bars with all the pre-drilled holes and the threaded inserts. So I just spent a couple of nights this week fitting those, along with my beautiful posh new touring mirrors. They were a bit of a treat, but Doug is so good to me, he deserves the pretty things. It doesn't matter how many times I come here, I always seem to get lost on this business park. It is like a bit of a rabbit warren. Oh look, we've got a little gang of pheasants this morning. Good morning, pheasants. It's such a lovely business park, this is. I worked at Watsonian Squire for about 6 months on a gearbox recall, and the drive to work was always spectacular. That is Doug dropped off for his second service. Now, sometimes you get a courtesy bike, and I was really hoping for a courtesy bike today. It's such a beautiful morning, nice to go out for a ride. But there was one particular bike I was hoping for. Let me show you. There we go. I finally get to ride the new Himalayan. Oh, I was so excited. You know, I saw it parked there amongst the demos. I said, is there any chance? They said, oh, I don't know if we've got enough fuel and blah, 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 blah. And I said, look, I will put a 10 quid of petrol in there if it means I can get a ride on it. So here I am. I'm out on the new Himalayan. Oh, wow. Okay. Right, I think I've calmed down a little bit. I'm so excited about riding this bike. Oh my goodness me. Firstly, right, first impressions. What a good looking bike. Round of applause to Royal Enfield for creating a really lovely looking bike. The quality feels nice, it rides lovely, and that colour scheme, God, that's just so right. Oh, it really pops in the sunshine. Absolutely beautiful. I really love the little tabs they've put on here. you know, carry your extra luggage. So kindly, Watsonian Squire, they lowered the seat height for me. It was in the higher setting, so it's been dropped a little bit for, well, I've not got short legs, but it was just a little bit too tall for me. The first thing I noticed is getting this off its side stand. This bike leans right over. I purposely parked it so it wouldn't be as much effort. So there we go, we are back up on 2 wheels. Right, let's go and ride. So first things first, let's go and have a plod around the lanes. Initial impressions, this feels a bigger bike than Doug. It's wide, but it's really comfy. It's a nice sitting position. It's actually easier to ride this in my Alpine Stars boots than it is Doug, to be honest. I also like that on the very posh dashboard, TFT monitor, whatever we want to call it, when you go into shade and darker conditions, it turns black. Oh, hello, little pheasant. Out the way. So, yeah, in darker conditions, it turns black, as you can see at the moment. So we're in the shade. TFT's gone dark. And then when you go into brighter sunlight, it turns white. I've not seen anybody cover that on any channels at the moment, on the reviews on this. Well, I think that's quite clever, really. I do find on Doug, you know, sometimes when I'm riding at night, the dash display can be super blinding. It almost outdoes the headlamp, really. So this has just got a really comfy sitting position. The seat is really comfy, nice and wide for my big bottom. So far this is a real pleasure. The switch gear on it feels like really nice quality. You know, a nice definite click when you switch the indicators on, which is what you want to feel. You know, I've got my big winter gloves on today, and you just want to feel that click. The suspension on this, it does feel quite rigid, but very, very planted. I mean, I'm yet to go into any bends at any sort of speed, but I can feel that this is going to feel really planted. Initially, when I got on this bike, I thought, oh, I feel so perched on top of this. I just didn't really... It's like anything when it's new and you're not used to it. I felt very, very perched on top, but, you know, I've been on it for sort of half an hour now, and I'm starting to feel a little bit more part of it. You know, my knees tucked nicely around the tank, just giving that little bit of grip. So far, I'm really rather impressed with this bike. The brakes, exceptionally good, actually. I feel like I've got a bit more stopping power than on Doug. Doug, you have to plan half an hour ahead before you want to stop. But it is certainly different to the 411 in the means of how quickly it picks up. Something I also just remembered whilst I was riding along in 5th gear. Wait for it. Yay, we've got a 6th gear. All the better for cruising on. Where this has come from, but I've just hit this. I don't know if you can see this giant piece of tubing. Oh, it just shows you've got to be ready for anything. Oh, covered in mud now as well. That wasn't great. Certainly tested the ABS when I came across that in the road. Well, whoever's car that fell off, shame on you, you would have heard that fall off. Thank goodness this isn't a sports bike and I hit that at speed. So that would have had you off. It just shows, you know, on the road this morning, I had that car pull out in front of me. You just got to be ready for anything on a bike. So while I'm out about, I decided to come and stop at Paddington railway station. Famous steam train line. It runs from, I think it's like Cheltenham to Broadway now, but I just had to park the Himalayan by this little contraption. A little old scamble. How cool is that? Wow! Oh, it's almost made me cry, that has. Goodness me! Oh, just look at that! Just beautiful. Well, I wasn't expecting that little bonus. There is a cafe down here. So this is Paddington railway station. The Cotswold Halt is the cafe. I haven't stopped there because I'm not ready for breakfast just yet. What a bonus seeing that train. Oh, you know, come ride out with me, stuff happens. Oh, straight pipe work in the road and steam trains. How am I ever going to title this video? I've just dropped back down into Evesham. Almost home again. Still on the new Himalayan. I've decided I'm going to go and find myself a nice warm drink and have a think about what I feel about this bike. Ah, lovely. Nice caramel latte. So I've just been looking on eBay at the prices of the new Himalayan, how much they're coming up for sort of like second hand, and the going price seems about 4,500, which that's such a good price. I mean, it's a lot of bike. It's got that nice big bike feel, feels very planted. It's so nice to ride. That is a lot of bike for the money. Would I be tempted? Yeah, I think I would, to be honest. Yeah, very tempted. Not at the moment. I mean, I love Doug. He is so good. Can't fail to love him. But, you know, it's like when you get something new and is a little bit better, and it's like, ooh. So, yeah, maybe one day I may look at swapping to the newer Himalayan. I am really quite smitten with it. Not really sure what time I'm meant to be picking my bike up. One chap said 4 o'clock and the other chap said, "Oh, give it a couple of hours." So I guess it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to carry on riding for a bit. So if I was to buy one of the new Royal Enfield Himalayans, what would I do on it differently to make it, well, more suited to me? I think I would go for some shorter reach levers. I've just sort of found going through the traffic, the clutch is quite a reach. And I think, you know, if I was doing a lot of traffic, I'd get quite an achy hand. What else would I do? Get rid of some of this traffic. What else would I do? I don't know if I could live with that side stand. It tips the bike right over, and I think, like, if I was out on the trail and stopped on some sort of a hill, I'd have to gain some sort of superpower to start to get it back up right. I have been finding I've been leaving the indicators on a little bit because it's not very obvious on that new display that your indicators are even flashing. I've also found that when I'm in traffic, this is still a tall bike. I'm a 32 inside leg and I'm up on my tippy toes with the seat height at its lowest. So it is a tall bike. But I am literally like nitpicking faults here. For a bike that can turn its hand to everything, it ticks a lot of the boxes. It's comfy. My goodness me, it's comfy. I am going to start heading back to Watsonian Squire. I'm going to see if Doug is done. I mean, if he's not, there's a Mr. Watson's Cafe there, the big double-decker bus, where I can grab a coffee if it's not. I'm so impressed with this bike. I love it. Absolutely love it. Having that a bit of extra power, just making it that little bit more sprightly, so if you need to just do that little overtake, you haven't got to plan half a mile ahead. So yeah, that little bit of extra power, it has made the world of difference, especially on the road. I'd be so interested to take one of these off-road, just out of interest, see if that bit of power makes the difference off-road as well, but I'm obviously not going to do this on a demo bike. That would not be fair. Little Fit 500. Toota toota. Oh, I don't know, is that a bubble car? Wow. Somebody's got the collection there. So just heading through the beautiful Chipping Camden to head back to Watsonian Squire. I'm going to do a marks out of 10 for this bike. I am going to give it a firm 8 3/4. I say that leaves a little bit long reach for me, but that could be changed. The side stand is a pain in the backside. I'm not sure if I like this screen that it's got, the TFT screen. I love the black and the whiteness, that's really clever. But just trying to spy if your indicators are on is a bit awkward. That might be an age thing. Aside from that, I just love it. I think I've said that a few times now. It's going to be very hard to hand this back. But unfortunately, I've got to. Let's go and see Doug. Oh, 3 animals in the space of 100 yards. So I said goodbye to that beautiful Himalayan and said hello to Doug, who's back from a very fresh and spangly service. It's nice to be back on him, really. I think that new one was too posh for me. So I plugged all my heating gloves in, but forgot to switch them on. So I'm just going to stop and do that. It's the excitement of seeing Doug again. You'll always be my favourite. So as we leave Watsonian Squire, I don't know why I say Squire, like Squire. As we leave Watsonian Squire, another sterling job from them. I would not hesitate to recommend those guys at that shop. They are so good. You just feel so looked after. Absolutely brilliant. Be sure if you're heading to the Stafford vehicle shows, another kamikaze pheasant, god damn it. If you're going to go to Stafford, if you're going to go to the NEC bike show, be sure to go and pay them a visit. They are the nicest bunch of chappies. There's so many pheasants. Oh, hello. And a squirrel. And a pheasant. Oh dear. So as I'm riding back, Doug has just turned 3,000 miles. 3,000 exceptionally happy miles. Now, I know I'm biased, but these bikes are just so good. I just thought I'd roll the camera to show you these buildings at the back of Chipping, Camden. They are so beautiful. When the sun is out, get out on your bike and go exploring. Oh, we're just going past that little Fiat 500 again. Tuta. I have to say, Doug just feels absolutely fantastic now. The power is back. What a world of difference service makes. Tomorrow I'm doing a workshop visit. Now this is a guy in Bidford on Avon, and he's just recently set this workshop up where you can go and hire space and use the tools and use the paint shop and use everything that's there for very reasonable prices. So tomorrow is an open day, so I'll go and check him out, see what it's all about. I'm quite likely to need some sort of spray shop facility over the winter maybe, but I'll keep you posted on that. So yeah, we're going to pay him a visit tomorrow and probably have a ride out. If you enjoyed today's upload, I hope it made you smile. There's been a few things going on. Be sure to hit the like button. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe and the notifications, and then you can sit there excitedly and wait for the next upload. Until then, ride safe out there. Please ride safe out there. And I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and the bell notification icon.